Today, I want to discuss love. What is love? It's probably one of the most complicated things to explain, but I will try to simplify it because I feel I have a way to speak to it. The simple answer is that we are love. Can you feel it? I will explain how that works, or how can we know it. But first, I want to talk about Alan Watts. In one of his talks, I saw him describe the universe as that what happens with God is that he's bored in the world. So he wants to play a game with himself, a game of hide and seek. So he created this world, and then he hides himself in everything, in all the plants, the trees, in us, and because he does not want the game to be easy, it becomes this game of like hide and seek, of trying to figure out who we are, right? Who we are as the divine. Right? So if we can say that God, universe, whatever you want to call it, I don't want to put names on it, whatever you name it, it's not it, is hiding in everything, then we are love. We need to figure this out for ourselves, right? This is the journey we are here on this planet to discover that we are love, because love is the divine. This is the primordial energy that creates life. And there are pointers to see how we are love. So I want to discuss these pointers and to go deeper into this idea of how we can discover ourselves as love. First is the notion that, we seek love. We want to be loved, and we want to love others. Now, logically, the mind even does not comprehend this. What does that mean, to love someone? Why would you want to do that? Right, the mind would say. If you deeply focus on the mind, it would say it doesn't make sense. Why would I want to be loved? I mean, there's no logic to it, because it's not something that we can even have logic to. It is beyond logic. It is the ultimate desire that is in the root of that game, to get to know ourselves. So it is already a default into the operating system beyond thoughts. We want to get to know ourselves. So we seek it in others, or we want to give it to others, and through those eyes, those mirrors that we see in their eyes, we can see a reflection of ourselves, of our true nature, in that relationship. Because we are born into this body, right? We appear here. This is what the hell is happening here, right? We don't know. We don't know how to negotiate this. We're born into this body. We're not giving a manual to life, how to negotiate our emotions and feelings. And we believe that we are individuals in this body, in this ego. And since I'm an individual and I have a life story, then I need to protect myself from others, right? And this desire to protect ourselves, to have a personality, then I want someone to have the same personality as me, right? And this is the struggle in finding love, because you really can't find a perfect match. Everyone has a different life story. Everyone has a different idea in life. So this underlying current of getting to know yourself becomes an obstacle when you are using your mind to create that relationship, because this does not suit me, and this is not what I want, and this is not how people should behave. And because everyone is doing that, we never get along. And if you remove the mind, just sense your being in this relationship without the mind, right? When we remove the mind, we can sense ourselves in that person, because that person is in our life for a reason, right? There's no coincidences. And if you feel that person's essence, you discover yourself in them. Because when you remove the story from that person, when you remove any person you meet, by the way, you remove the story, you remove any future, It doesn't exist. You connect to this present moment and how you feel in their presence, because they reflect who you are. It feels amazing. It feels beautiful. This is the essence of love. I see pigeons flying, symbol of love. So we want to be seen in love, but we create obstacles because we believe that we are individuals on the journey. And we don't know that actually what we seek is who we are. And that creates the problems in our life. We get lost in relationships, and sometimes people have this desire, heartbreak, for example. What is a heartbreak? A heartbreak is when you meet yourself in another human being and you run some time together, and it feels so good to recognize yourself, not completely, but there is this recognition. There's good moments, and then there's a challenge and problems and struggles, and then you feel like, okay, this is too much for me. Right? This is too much. Perhaps, by the way, it's possible that we meet each other to learn a few things about ourselves, and then we have to separate. It's not. It's logical that it's possible. Doesn't mean that it has to last a lifetime. Right? This is the mind. Sometimes the recognition of the love that we shared is the growth to the path of getting to know yourself. Right? So then we say, okay, we don't want to be together anymore. And the mind, with its logic, says, I need to remove this person from my heart. And that's the heartbreak, because actually it's not really possible to do it. The heart is you, and him and her. You cannot remove that person from your heart, but the mind wants to do it so deeply, then it wants to break the heart, to crack it open, so that person will never be in that place, because it hurts so much that he's no longer reflecting who you are, right? But the path is not that. If you don't want any heartbreaks, just keep him in your heart. Recognize, keeping him or her in your heart, but recognize the relationship. It's not a relationship material. You no longer see that presence, that light in their eyes that creates this growth that you seek. So it's necessary to move on, but you can keep them in your heart. Recognize the love that you shared. Recognize the good moments, and be grateful. There was no waste of time. A lot of time, because the mind lives in time, it says it was a waste of time. I should not have. But didn't you have a few good moments? Didn't you enjoy your life? Didn't you feel that essence of who you are reflecting in their eyes and in your heart? And homecoming, there's a homecoming to yourself when you recognize, be grateful for that relationship. And sometimes if you just broke a relationship, you realize it's very painful. Perhaps my words are touching you, but at some point, if it was a true love, you will recognize that you're grateful for that moment in time. You wouldn't change any of it, because it got you to be who you are. And who you are is love, right? So really, this is the essence of love, this desire to get to know ourselves. All the challenges we have in life with other people is the ego creating the separation and not wanting to see the other person as love. Actually, when people are angry, right, when they're angry at you, they're not really angry at you, but more they have a fear inside them that you don't see them as love, right? For example, if you're late and someone is shouting at you, why are you late? You're not respecting your time. Actually, deep inside, he did not want to be alone, right? This is the recognition of that heart that we are, the love that we are. All our motives, all our problems are emanating from this disconnect from seeing ourselves as love. So we create the walls of separation, and we lose ourselves in those walls. And here comes an interesting observation about the nature of what we call a romantic love, or what I call a mind-made love. Romantic love is there's no different types of love. It's just one love, right? So you cannot say a romantic love or this love. just one love. But when we believe we are in this romantic love, then of course it's mind-made, right? Because there's no different types of love. So if it's mind-made, then we put rules around it. This is how it should be. In this romantic love, he should be mine, right? He's mine, and I don't want that to change. And I expect him to do and behave a certain way, and I expect her to do these things for me to feel complete in this place. You know, we crave that relationship because we want others to complete us, and that's a fallacy. That's a lie. We are already complete. We are the divine. We are the universe. How can we be ever completed through others? And that search for completion is never going to lead you to that path. You're always going to find yourself feeling at first in the relationship amazing, and then you're not going to feel it anymore because that recognition was first there, and then, but he's still not completing me. If that search is there, you're not going to find it, and you're going to lose it. And this is where problems begin in relationships. We start blaming each other. So romantic love is not the path. True love is really to say, you are free. You know what? We're entering in this relationship to enable freedom, not to take away freedom. We entered this relationship to enable freedom, to mirror who we are into each other's eyes, and to recognize that we all have a path to take. We're all here to come back to ourselves, but we all have a unique paths. We're all individuals differently on the path. We cannot change someone else to be who we are. He is already who we are. So it's just the mind, the blockages that create the separation, right? It's personality, these ideas of, oh, I need him to change. And that's not possible. You can never change anyone. No one would want to change you, right? You can never be changed through others, right? So, because we are the universe, we can never change something outside of ourselves. Reaching outside ourselves and saying, now you're going to change, there's nothing there, right? We need to change ourselves. This is the path. We need to come in, to collect ourselves within, and to recognize that there's nothing to change outside of us. Within us, yes. And that within us is to remove the mind, right? To remove the mind, to recognize, because every time you think you are in time and space, and you are in this world. But when you connect to presence, you are actually experiencing life. And that experience of life is where life unfolds, is you can connect to that joy and love that you are. Cannot create there's no drama, there's no problems when you come to the unfolding of this moment with no mind, right? And what does this mean, no mind? What does this mean, no mind? You know, when a child is born, the parents look at that child and immediately feel love for that, recognize the love that is here in between, because there's no mind. There's no like, oh, this baby is going to change our life. This baby is going to be a problem. This baby, I need to feel safe from this baby, right? Immediately, the moment you hug that little creature, you feel love because there's no mind. Love is already there. And sometimes when we meet people on the journey, we can recognize that love right away. Actually, there's no need to fall in love. There's no need to fall in love because that's the wrong path. If you need to fall in love, it means that there is some path, there's no recognition there at first. And I call this recognition an energetic resonance, a frequency, an energy, two people connected on the same frequency. And then they can hear each other well, they can see each other well. And perhaps that is the first seed that creates that connection, that creates that relationship, right? And there's no need to fall in love, and there's no need to build love. Anything you build, you can destroy. Anything you fall into, you can climb back up. But whatever was done with recognition, I recognize you as love, can never be destroyed. You can never climb out because it was always there. It was always there, and it will always be there, even if the relationship ends. That recognition of that shared love of that person is the divine in you, planted a seed in your garden, then yeah, this is love. We are love. This is love with no mind. So removing the mind from anything creates this view, this perception of love, this not perception, this recognition of love in others. And so I do believe, don't believe, I know love at first sight is a thing. It's not like something that people say, oh, do you believe in first sight? And maybe it's possible, but it is the ultimate thing. Recognize that, feel that. When you meet people, when you see in your life relationships, things just happen immediately. There's no need to add time to recognize. This is also an invitation to center into the present moment. If you have questions, comments, if this was helpful, I would love to hear about it in the comments, because that would help spread the word to other people and will show me that it was meaningful to you. And please subscribe. I'm doing this channel to kind of help myself grow and perhaps others on the journey, to bring awareness to how things are so we can enjoy the journey. Thank you for your time.